Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach. What's going on, guys? Hope you had some wins in your grand finals or prelims, whatever you were having. But yeah, going to take a look at my side. There were some big scores. I mean, Sheezel having 54 touches. Outrageous. Cherry went nuts. Bont, Gorm. Shorty's MVP is going to be tough to do the votes this week. So, yeah, look, we'll get stuck into it in a moment. But, yeah, also want to talk about SuperCoach finals, like the actual format in our finals game. Now, I did see this somewhere that there would be, was it on Instagram or something? But yeah, I feel like there was definitely something put out that there'd be SuperCoach actually happening through our final series. So interested to see how that looks. So, hey, maybe the SuperCoach party will roll on. Maybe there is redemption out there for Shorty. Maybe we can have a good finals contribution. I know there was many years ago, I reckon they did. I reckon it might have been AFL Fantasy did it, and they would have some sort of budget, but also like, you know, a limit on how many players you could have from a certain club, and there was some different sort of strategy and stuff. So whatever they do, I hope there is a slightly different look in the strategy as well, because it'd be a good time to trial it. I feel like, you know, it's a bit of your pre-season NAB Cup, you know, the runners and creators of SuperCoach could really just trial a couple of things, see if people like it. Nothing drastic, but yeah, I just wonder how it will look. And if that is the case, then yeah, we'll be back. Yeah, doing plenty of stuff through the finals as well, which will be fun. Good and bad, you know, I sort of don't want to get bogged down in, you know, over analysing the finals, because sometimes we can get like so intense in following our matches and our players in the game. Do still want to enjoy finals, no doubt about that. But look, in terms of... So, yeah, 2,562 this week. I just kind of feel like, unfortunately, as you guys know, I was really hopeful of finishing well and genuinely believed I could finish this side off and really, really well and have some good years, good weeks this year. But I think, unfortunately, my side, it just is where it's at, really. I mean, look, we've had a slightly better last couple of weeks, but it's not like we're drastically jumping off the page and climbing the ranks. So I think that's a little bit of, yeah, having a really weak 23rd player and even weaker when you have someone like Zach Merritt out. And then I think also just, yeah, it's tough to have much scope to catch up, because what would it be? 16 to 18 players are probably the same. You know, there's very, very minimal point of differences. And if you do go a point of difference, you certainly want it to hit. So let's take a look at our side. Congrats. What do you congratulate me for, mate? What we even do? I feel like there's a couple of dubs in here, but not many. What do we get? 2 out of 3 head-to-head league wins. So we're knocked out of many. We are knocked out of so many. But we're still kicking the bragging rights. That is a lower one. And this one... Should we SuperCoach? Yeah, so look, we're nothing to get too excited about. But yeah. Anyway, let's take a look at the side. So, yeah, you had Wanganeen Miller, who I ended up not putting the VC on. I ended up doing Noah Anderson. Just thought he might be able to go off the chain slightly better, but not quite. But we did have a good skipper in Gawn. And look at Xerri. Holy moly. So, yeah, Holmes had a bit of attention against the Swans. Whitfield was really good. Clark, really solid. Bailey Dale, 128. Just racks up some big numbers. James Sicily, probably thought he might have been a little bit better these last few weeks. He's solid, but yeah, again, that's probably a slight bit of exposure to my D6 that maybe some would be stronger. But yeah, you know, he outscored McCarthy, so maybe that's a slight positive. Of course, Zach Merritt on the bench, so we had to take Clay Hall into consideration. Was trying to get a bit funky with emergency loophole. Felt I couldn't take a 53, but in the end, cost me 10 points. Bont, fantastic. Dacos, really, really good. Sinclair was solid. Anderson, solid. Butters, pretty impressive. I think I saw Lord was injured at some point, so maybe that helped him. Not sure if he was copping a tag or not. Didn't watch that one. Sarong was pretty solid. Will Ashcroft, again, like, I think what makes it tough is my M7 and M8. There's going to be some people that are, you know, a lot stronger in that area than a Will Ashcroft and a Clay Hall, so it does make it hard to really catch up. Touched on Gawn and Cherry. Like, just huge. I mean, if there's anything to be pleased about this week, it is the fact of holding on to Xerri and being vindicated by that sort of performance. It really makes you go, yeah, that was well worthwhile. That was worth holding on to, if anything, other than that 180. Smith finds plenty of the footy. Rankin and McRae, not their best outings, but solid. Similar could be said for Warner and Pickett and Shanahan. Again, that exposing Shanahan's not great. Cozzy Pickett just probably hasn't quite been the pick I maybe would have hoped. At times I thought, yep, this is going to be a really good selection at the back end of the year. But I know Luke Jackson didn't go off this week. But yeah, just his last month just hasn't quite been it. And they're just the fine margins that can really hurt you. And of course, Harry Sheezel, like we touched on, superb performance, 185. How ridiculous is that? So in terms of my votes, look, honestly, there's not stacks to talk about. No trades, nothing too exciting on the finals front for Shorty. So honestly, just wishing you guys luck out there if you are in some big head-to-head games against one of your mates, against your old man, anything like that. I really do hope that you get up, and we'll be going live on Wednesday. So feel free to jump along to there. But yeah, give me your thoughts on this SuperCoach finals concept. Is it locked in? It sounds like it was. And yeah, if you'll be doing it, let me know. The votes was pretty clear. It has to involve Xerri and Sheezel. Like, that is clear cut. And look, Xerri's slightly more unique than Sheezel, and he scored 2 more points. So we're going to give the 3 votes to Tristan Xerri, which from memory, he was leading my MVP. I've been disciplined. I have not looked at it, but I get the sense that this will either take him to the lead or extend his lead. It'll be very interesting to see. Xerri 3 votes. Sheezel has to be 2 votes. And then it's really out of Bont or Gawn. And, 3 points between them. But I'm giving Gawn the C, to have a captain that goes 140 plus, deserves to be in the votes. So I'm going to give him the 1 vote over Bontempelli. So, yeah, 3 Xerri, 2 Sheezel, and 1 Gawn. So, yeah. Enjoy the rest of your night. Going to pump this one out, edit it up, watch a bit of First Crack. And, we'll talk to you on Wednesday. See you guys.